Mediation: How Adele Settled Her Wildest Legal Battle with Simon. What happens when a girl from Tottenham with a broken fridge and a golden voice becomes one of the most powerful women in music, and then walks away from love with more grace than a royal exit? This is not just a story about Adele. It's a story about how heartbreak can be handled like a symphony, not a scandal. Why did she choose mediation over courtroom warfare? What secrets were sealed behind velvet doors? How did a woman known for soul-crushing ballads turn her own sorrow into a masterclass in emotional maturity? From the smoky streets of North London to the glittering stages of the Grammys, from whispered regrets to thunderous rebirths, this is the full, unfiltered journey of Adele Laurie Blue Adkins. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll probably text your ex halfway through. So buckle up, because this isn't just a documentary. It's a lyrical odyssey through love, loss, and legal finesse. And by the end, you'll understand why sometimes the most powerful breakup isn't the one that ends in tears, but the one that ends in truth. Tottenham, North London, May 5, 1988. Adele Laurie Blue Adkins enters the world with lungs destined for legend. Her mother, Penny Adkins, was a young woman with fire in her belly and barely enough coins for a Tesco meal deal. Penny raised Adele solo after her partner, Mark Evans, vanished like a magician with commitment issues. Why was the fridge often empty? Because Penny was juggling jobs, dreams, and a child with a voice that could shatter glass and expectations. The fridge became a metaphor, cold, hollow, and waiting to be filled. But Penny filled Adele's life with music, love, and the kind of resilience that doesn't come with a receipt. Mark Evans, Adele's father, left when she was just 2. Why? According to interviews, he struggled with alcoholism and emotional immaturity. He left behind a cassette tape of soul music and a legacy of abandonment that Adele would later mine like emotional gold. Years later, Mark tried to reconnect, claiming he was proud of her. Adele responded with the grace of a lioness. "I don't hate him, I'm indifferent." Oof, that's not just rejection, that's lyrical annihilation. By age 14, Adele wasn't just singing, she was summoning. Her voice had the texture of honey and the force of a freight train. Grown men cried. Pigeons paused mid-flight. Even her school janitor reportedly said, "She sings like she's lived 3 lifetimes." She enrolled at the Brit School, a Hogwarts for pop prodigies. There she mingled with Leona Lewis, the vocal gymnast, and Jessie J, the human firecracker. Teachers described Adele's voice as a velvet sledgehammer, gentle enough to soothe, powerful enough to destroy your emotional stability. Simon Konecki was no stranger to complexity. A former investment banker turned water warrior, he co-founded Life Water and Drop for Drop, aiming to bring clean water to communities in need. He had already been married and had a child, so he came with a past but also with depth. They met in 2011, and it was less meet cute and more meet epic. Adele, fresh off Grammy wins, found in Simon a man who didn't care about red carpets or record deals. By 2012, they welcomed their son Angelo, and Adele retreated from the spotlight to embrace motherhood. She once said, "He's so perfect and I'm not, but I love that he sees me as I am." That quote would later echo with bittersweet irony, because being seen isn't always enough when you're evolving faster than your relationship can keep up. By 2019, the love song had turned into a ballad of dissonance. Adele was changing, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. She wanted growth, challenge, and perhaps a bit of chaos. Simon, by contrast, preferred the quiet life, the steady rhythm of routine. Irreconcilable differences? Yes, but not the tabloid kind. No cheating scandals, no screaming matches, just 2 people growing in opposite directions. Adele reportedly felt stifled, while Simon felt left behind. Their separation was announced in April 2019, and the tabloids exploded like a piñata full of speculation. Now here's where Adele flips the celebrity divorce script. Instead of dragging Simon through the courts like a reality TV subplot, she chose mediation. Why? Privacy. Adele guards her personal life like Fort Knox guards gold. Dignity. She didn't want Angelo to grow up reading headlines about custody battles. Control. Mediation allowed her and Simon to make decisions without a judge dictating terms. While other celebs were airing dirty laundry on Instagram, Adele and Simon were sipping tea with a mediator, calmly dividing assets and parenting responsibilities. No drama, no spectacle, just grown-up decisions made with grace. In 2021, Adele released 30, an album that felt like therapy wrapped in melody. Songs like Easy on Me and To Be Loved were emotional autopsies of her marriage. She didn't villainize Simon, she humanized herself. She said, "I dismantled my son's life in pursuit of my own happiness." That's not just honesty, that's bravery with a microphone. That quote could make even the most hardened divorce lawyer weep into their leather briefcase and call their ex just to say sorry. Why did she do it? Because Adele believes in truth, in healing, in giving her son a roadmap to her heart, even if it's paved with tears and tempo changes. Let's start with the obvious. Adele is no fool. She's the kind of woman who can turn a breakup into a Billboard chart topper and a tear into a platinum record. So when her marriage to Simon Konecki began to unravel, she didn't reach for a lawyer, she reached for mediation. Why? Because dragging her personal life through the courts would have been like singing Hello in a karaoke bar in Croydon. Off-key, overexposed, and inevitably butchered by someone who thinks heartbreak is just a vocal warm-up. According to Mediate UK, Adele joined the ranks of celebrities like Tom Cruise, who probably negotiated custody while hanging from a helicopter, and Gwen Stefani, who managed to divorce Gavin Rossdale without turning it into a punk rock feud. These stars chose mediation for 3 golden reasons. Privacy. No courtroom cameras, no TMZ lurking in the parking lot. Flexibility. You can negotiate while sipping chamomile tea, not while being cross-examined. Control. You decide your future. Not a judge who thinks Adele is just that lady who sings sad songs. So Adele and Simon sat down with a mediator, not a barrister. No leaked documents, no bitter depositions. Just 2 adults, a pot of tea, and a shared commitment to their son, Angelo. The divorce was finalized in March 2021, and the headlines were eerily quiet. Why? Because Adele had sealed the financial details tighter than Fort Knox wearing Spanx. But here's what insiders whispered through the velvet grapevine. No spousal support. Adele didn't want to turn Simon into a tabloid target or a financial footnote. She respected him too much for that. Joint custody of Angelo, because despite the split, they were still a team when it came to parenting. Adele once said, "He's the best dad, and I trust him with my life." That's not just co-parenting, that's coexisting with grace. The fortune split? Fair, not fiery. No one walked away bitter, no one walked away broke, they walked away whole. In an interview, Adele confessed, "I was just going through the motions and I wasn't happy. Neither of us did anything wrong." That line could have been a lyric, but it was instead a masterclass in emotional maturity. Why did she say it? Because Adele understood that not all endings require villains. Sometimes love fades like the final note of a ballad. No betrayal, no scandal. Just 2 people who grew apart while trying to hold it together. She didn't blame Simon, she didn't blame herself. She simply acknowledged the truth and turned it into art. Post-divorce, Adele didn't retreat, she resurrected. Her album 30, released in November 2021, was less a collection of songs and more a forensic emotional autopsy. Easy on Me, a plea for understanding, not pity. To Be Loved, a confession so raw it could sandpaper your soul. She told Vogue, "I wanted to explain to my son, through this record, why I chose to dismantle his entire life in the pursuit of my own happiness." That quote could make even the most hardened divorce lawyer weep into their leather briefcase and call their ex just to say sorry. Why did she do it? Because Adele believes in truth, in healing, in giving her son a roadmap to her heart, even if it's paved with tears and tempo changes. Here's the takeaway. O novo. Love is messy, even when it's real. Endings can be graceful, if you choose dignity over drama. Mediation is wisdom, not weakness. Adele avoided the circus, she protected her son, and she turned heartbreak into a masterpiece. And what of Simon? He didn't write a memoir, he didn't tweet cryptic messages, he didn't sell his story to the Sun. He simply stepped back and let Adele shine. Why? Because he respected her journey. Because he knew that silence can be louder than scandal. Friends said he supported her co-parenting vision and remained a steady presence in Angelo's life. No tell-all interviews, no revenge tweets, just quiet dignity. A tale of love, loss, and legal elegance. Adele didn't just survive her divorce, she composed it. And in doing so, she taught the world that heartbreak doesn't have to be a headline. It can be healing. Before you go, don't forget, If you enjoyed this deep dive into Adele's life, love, and lyrical legacy, and you want more stories served with wit, drama, and a dash of historical spice, make sure to follow us for more jaw-dropping narratives. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat. Click that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop another story that'll leave you gasping, laughing, or crying into your tea. We've got more intrigue, more legends, and more untold truths coming your way. Stay tuned, stay curious, and stay fabulous. Next up, Bill Gates.